do you start a club team and how do you keep it going, which is quite hard. If you haven't done it, you want to clear it. Yeah? So over to Puyal and Airvendors. Puyal's a new team, Airvendors a kind of a veteran team, so it'll be great to hear both sides. Yeah? I'll start off with Arvind, probably the youngest on this couch. Hi guys, this is Puri. We started Puyal last year. So we like to think of ourselves, I don't know if you've heard of Chennai Super Kings, CSK. They call the dad's army, right? So we like to think of ourselves as a dad and mom's army. Because when we started off, we were all these masters who got tired work and wanted to do something physical, and we got into fitness, and through fitness we discovered Frisbee, and there was no looking back after that. So it's been, we were part of a training group, and then there was a lot of pickup games, and we wanted to, suddenly we realized that we wanted to have a club, get a chance to play competitive ultimate. And within a matter of, I think, 2 to 3 months, we got our branding done, we got our jerseys printed, and we were ready to go for the sections. The sections, the first sections. So when we went for the first sections, we didn't know what to wear. We didn't know whether it was cleats or I was wearing 5 fingers, and there was no. We got burnt. All this literally got burnt because it was the first tournament. And calling ourselves Puyal, we got swept away 15-0, 15-1, 15 something. It was a fantastic experience. So that's how we started.
Hi guys, I'm Sam. So, Airvendors, as Manix mentioned, is a fairly older team, but only in the last couple of years we really started growing. So, for us, it's actually what was discussed a lot in the previous panel, that we had to understand how to, what Kerala brought up really. How do you make that balance between people who have represented India and have really played at the highest levels versus people who are coming and trying to play recreationally and trying to learn the real understanding of the game is. Because, I think a lot of us face this challenge that we play early mornings on weekends, right? And that is very sacred time for a lot of people. So even convincing people to come and join us can be a little hard. So for us, really the approach, what ended up happening was that we had to break up our own practice session. So when you come in, either you are playing with the main team who has all the experience and is doing all the complicated drills and is doing really skill development, and you also had another entire set of people who are playing take throws. They try to, as Kasi mentioned, find the joy in the game. Try to understand why do people play and why is it so much fun. So from being a team, like I think a lot of teams now are, where you have 3 or 4 new people coming in every month and 3 or 4 people leaving every month, so your numbers are kind of constant. Once we started instituting that, where you have 2 separate practice sections running side by side, that's when we really saw explosion in our numbers, where people are really excited to come and play, to come and learn, to come and do drills, to learn how to fail, to do all of these things. And once you have that, you really have a reason to keep coming. And because of that, as we all know, it's a sport where once you get excited, you really get other people excited as well. So even the numbers of people who are joining really just exploded, because you find 3 or 4 people who are really excited, they bring in 3 or 4 more people, and it's just compounding from there. So that was one of the keys for our really explosive growth, and we went from somewhere around 40 active players to currently 90. And I think that is a step that needs to be taken if you're looking to really grow your career.
would like to understand, like, from both teams, you know, as the new season came about last year, we had a requirement on gender, which has always been a challenge for mixed teams. So, how did you manage that? How did you manage to? Most teams are finding difficulty in meeting the minimum 6 of every gender criteria that the UPA has set for all teams. So, I know there's plenty of women players in top teams, and you are fielding 3 club teams. That means you have a minimum of 18 players. So that's a pretty significant number for most teams. So how did you manage that? Is there any tips or tricks that you want to share with the rest of the audience? Yeah.
Okay, firstly, I've not been around for too long. Okay, I joined January last year, and just as Sam was mentioning, it's about getting attracted to the sport so much that you tend to stay. Now, a lot of teams understand that there's something about airbenders that keeps, you know, the spirit alive. In fact, we have a lot of kids right now from creative school who just spoke before us, and I remember talking to one of the younger ones, saying, "What's up?" And she said, "It's airbenders. You know, we really love to play with airbenders," which was like really good to hear. So there's something about the spirit, I would say, which largely is inculcated by the older players, the more senior players who've been around for 4 to 5 years, who, you know, really embody a lot of the spirit of Ultimate as it stands. Now, why is there so much attraction, and as the girl here was saying, why was there so much hype about, you know, wanting to play Ultimate? It's because of certain barriers, for example, that are broken, and that make you want to keep coming back, because it helps you grow not only physically, of course, but also mentally. It liberates quite a lot. So when you ask us about how we retain the women players, it's not really that difficult when you are actually a part of airbenders. But that doesn't take away from the fact that yes, when we are fielding 3 teams, we do have a pressing issue of, you know, not having equal number of women. We do have a lot of women, but that's not enough, because 90 people right now who are active includes like about 50 men and about 30 women. So we don't have an equality, which is what the sport demands. So we have, in fact, the committee, so to say, has thought about this quite extensively, and we currently, to manage 90 people, come up with something called the wings, which there are 4 wings, which look into different aspects of what the game, you know, requires nowadays. So we have the admin wing, and we have the finance wing, we have the social media wing, and we have one for the recruitment wing, which primarily focuses at bringing in more women players, because frankly speaking, quite well thought out thing is that we do need equal number of women, and you do, and there is another thing about, you know, women in sports, especially those who have not been into sport from their early life, which is that you tend to face a lot more internal turbulence, so to say. You know, you find it very difficult to go out there and play. So when you have Ultimate kind of breaking those barriers down for you very gently, and especially with a team like Evan, it does, you know, tend to help. So I kind of lost
Maybe a little bit more detail on your secret recruitment wing tactics. That'll help.
I was about to ask that.
No, see, this took a lot of thought, and it's not mine originally, it's the committee's. But it's the need of the hour. Just like we also have an admin wing or a finance wing, because for 90 people, you know, just running the sport in terms of going to an event like Pundari was just saying, we didn't know what jerseys to wear, what shorts to wear, whatever it is. So you need people to actually actively think about it. And I think Manik once mentioned that, you know, we all need secret lives. It's not our, you know, actual, I mean, probably this is our actual life. The other one is the secret life, I don't know. But we do tend to have other lives. We do go to jobs, and we do, you know, you are studying or you're working. So in that case, it becomes difficult for, you know, core like 5 or 6 people to manage 90 people. It's almost an organization. So you need an active, say, admin wing to think about logistics, to think about even grounds nowadays in Bangalore. So recruitment wing is a very smart idea, which will be tending to focus on this. Don't take away that. Even if you do get evidence, it's okay. But yeah, so it's just one of many aspects that are important to the team right now. It's not just recruiting women. It's also running through the logistics. It's also looking after the finances of so many people. And yeah, the whole thing being social media, which looks into popularizing the sport and so on. So it's been thought about in a very systematic manner, which makes it easier for everyone to participate, give a little bit, and spend the rest of their time actually playing the sport. So that's what it was.
So, after we said, as part of forming the team, because we had wise men already in, we had the luxury of people who were in business and in all kinds of professions. So we quickly realized that we needed a core team. So from the beginning there was a core team thinking about finance, thinking about recruitment, thinking about all that. We did have different things, but we had a core team. And though we were a nice mix of masters and youngsters, and as a result of which, our focus immediately turned to trying to behave ourselves. We really set the tone in terms of don't go crazy. SOTG was the focus. We learned about SOTG very fast. Though in the first tournament we scored very badly, but eventually by the end of the season, we were in the top 3, top 2 in SOTG. So we took it very seriously from day one. And again, from the beginning, we always thought about how do we sustain it. That doesn't again come easily when you are a bunch of youngsters forming a team. That doesn't add benefit where we've always thought about season 2, season 3, season 4 from the day one, finding women. First 6 months was easy. We had at least 15 or 15 women at one point. Now we're down to 5 again. So we started the recruiting process. So why we are losing women players is a big question that we're trying to address. And like I said, we started off as a dad and mom's team, so the mom started getting injured, and they were star players. They were winning, MVPs every game, but they were getting injured. So that was a big problem. So sustaining that the team, especially women members of the team, finding new members. For example, the nationals. We almost didn't make it because there weren't enough women players. So then we said, Amalai was the captain of the team. He says, no, we have to go and we have to do well. Let's at least get into Division 2, and so we actually looked out for free agents who came on, and in fact we had a conversation, and we made it to the nationals, and it was a fantastic season that we had. And with season 2, we want to keep going. But part of again our vision of keeping it going and sustaining the team, we said, okay, let's do something social. Let's organize something, maybe a tournament, or that's how the Chennai had came about. Where after having a few chats with Mannix, we felt that after we obviously went to Goa, the experience was fantastic, and we said, if Goa can do it, why not Chennai? Minus the booze and minus the maybe we can swing it. So we did, and I thought the Chennai had with the lungis was a really nice, fun experience, and we want to keep it going, and through that, again, maybe continue to build the Purian brand and the whole, and even there, if you look at it, most of our branding and promotion was Purian, Chennai Ultimate, and UPA. We wanted to be part of the community, we wanted to build the community. That's been a focus from day one. We didn't think about, oh, let's win, let's be a team, we're isolated. No, we wanted to be part of the community. That's how it really kept us going.
Actually, one point regarding the concern of women. So, I think as a team, we also struggle to actually get the numbers in terms of women. I remember in one of the sectionals, we just grabbed someone, essentially Matu grabs our office and said, "You're part of our vendors now," because I mean, someone was injured and someone couldn't come. So, actually, one of the things that our recruitment wing and our committee is looking to do is to actually kind of slow down on the recruitment of men so that we can kind of catch up. Because now being mixed gender and the new rules coming out where you have to have equal ratio, there's no point having a squad where you do not have equal representation of both genders, because then it just doesn't make real sense. So our committee has decided that we're going to really slow down and put a stop to recruitment of men until the number of women catch up with it. And again, after that point, we can start going. So I mean it is a little kind of desperate, but that also is the need of the hour for us. So things that we're trying, we still have to figure out, but the goals are fairly clear.
Awesome. So it's really great to hear that both the teams here, air vendors and Kuya, I've had conversations with air vendors just recently yesterday. I get the feeling the feeling of connecting and staying connected to the community, like you want to be part of the wider UPI community, which is not just clubs, but it's a lot of other things as we've seen in this conference. That's really good to hear. And both the youngest team and more veteran team are able to say the same thing. And that's super awesome. I just want to kind of comment on that. The next question I was trying to understand, another similarity between the two teams is coaching. It's not most people who come into argument, I think Sandra was mentioning that. She was talking to me yesterday about this intermediate male syndrome, which probably in India is called the IIM, so Indian Intermediate Male Syndrome, which is like as soon as you get good, maybe 6 weeks, you're learning how to throw the flick or the forehand, you think you're the best, right? So and then you're like getting a certain sense of arrogance. And so this, usually what happens in such teams is you get a lot of quickly, recently skilled male players who all think they know how to play. And so there's stagnancy in terms of skill development. Then when you end up losing a lot, then you get into frustration, negativity, and the team usually collapses. But both your teams, even with some experience and although being new, you have decided to hire coaches. We saw recently Air Vendors coming up with an advertisement. We were looking for coaches actively. I think you've even reached out to Melissa Whitmore, high performance coach, whereas you guys went ahead and already hired 2 coaches, like 2 national team players, and you've been. So I just want to hear your perspectives on coaching, especially Air Vendors having people like Vijay and Pixie. I think Pixie was born a coach first and then became like a baby. So what does it take? Why did you decide to look for a coach? And what is your experience in terms of coaching? Has it been good, bad, tough, whatever you want to share? Start with you. Yeah.
Yeah, so after season 1, I think it was not actually at the end of season 1, it was regions, after the end of regions, we defeated Saptavyuha because we had the Chakra folks as part of the team. And then the second game, we had another game with Saptavyuha where we said, okay, Chakra, get out, we want players, Kuya. And then in that game it was such a, so it's an eye-opener at the same time frustrating because we just couldn't throw. We just froze. Every one of the players froze, and we couldn't play. And we lost. The team that we had just defeated, we lost pretty badly. And so we went back, and immediately at the end of season 1, we changed our tagline, play fearless. You know, so season 2 is all about playing fearless, improving the skills, because we realized that we were playing decent stuff, decent games, but we just didn't have enough skill individually, each individual. In fact, in a lot of games, the women were playing better than the men, which is kind of unusual for a new team, but they were really playing well. We get a lot of teams commented on it. So we realized the only way forward is to hire coaches, and working with Sumesh, Jagan, I mean, they're younger than most of us, but they're fantastic. I mean, they blend so well with the team, and we have 3 to 4 sessions a week, which is again pretty intense. And it's been so it was a no-brainer. Probably the sub-viewer game was a trigger. We were already thinking in terms of hiring coaches or coaches, but that game was a trigger to just fast track it.
So yeah, for us, the decision was actually a little similar. So during the last season, we were not as competitive as we would have liked. And at the end of the tournament, when we were having our team discussions, a lot of the discussion was around how much pressure there is at the captain, right? The captain has a lot of pressure, especially when you have a captain who's also playing, calling lanes, looking at strategy, doing all of these things becomes a little difficult and a little stressful. And we felt that having a unbiased opinion, like unbiased by being on the field opinion, would be very helpful. So it was mostly a team decision that we felt that our results were not really proportional to our skill or our passion or our effort. And we felt that having an outside opinion, because also is a established team also means that all the players are getting also a little stagnant sometimes, that everyone's very comfortable in their own position, in their own roles, in their own relationships. So as a team, in that meeting we decided that maybe looking at something like this would be very beneficial, because very few teams in India do have a full-time coach who's not playing. But we thought that that's a step that we would like to take, and also kind of making it as a lucrative opportunity for maybe one of the better coaches in India to come on board, also help the community. But mostly it is to kind of shake up our game and give us new perspectives, and mostly to help us perform at our peak. That was the main intention for us.
So just adding to that a little bit, so Sam, could you tell everybody, people watching on YouTube as well, what do you want in this sport? What's the job description? Maybe people are going to try listening to you.
So basically, I think we have a post on Instagram that covers the details very well. But essentially, we're looking for someone who will be with us throughout the season, who will be there for a good number of our weekend sessions, and who will definitely be there for our tournaments. So we're looking for a coach who can maybe come and run camps for us, or attend a few practice sessions and really give us, and in the sessions that they are not there, they can tell us what we should be doing and what drills we can be working on and what off-field activities we can be working on. Because I mean, even Box talked about it yesterday, Coach Box, that team bonding is very important. So even things like that, we're looking for a holistic approach, a coach that would like to help airbenders reach their potential. So that would include essentially a lot of things that even a national coach does do, from maybe even running selections, maybe setting up drills, setting up pods, making individual growth plans, all of the things that a coach would like to do. We are looking to get into that. I mean, we are very committed to really opening our team up and getting the maximum impact from what a coach would do.
Thanks. Time for questions? I have one last question. So, which is probably what Tom might ask, so I'm just going to kind of preempt it. So, in terms of spirit education, right? So, you both teams have kind of challenges for that. You being a new team with a big roster, like you said that you had this poor split scores at the beginning of the season, and then you kind of finished big. You finished in the top 3 in Division 2. Is that right? Yeah. Top 2. So that's huge. That's a big jump. And so, what was your journey like, and how did you go about changing that switch, especially for a new team? People want performance is what people like to think about, and spirit performance is counterintuitive to people looking for gratification in sports. So I'd like to hear more about that. And in terms of managing a massive squad of 1,000 people, like how do you manage to ensure evenness in spirit awareness across the different squads? So maybe you can start, and then we can hear from Kundri, and then we'll open up for questions for a few minutes when we need to go to the next session, right?
With respect to spirit, it is actually something that we've begun to struggle with a little bit, because the spirit that we've been known for is kind of fallen a little bit, and this reason we've kind of thought about quite deeply for some time. And it could also be because we've grown really quickly, really fast. In 2017, August or so, we were still probably 30-35 people. But by February or March, that is in another 4 to 5 months, we were close to 60. So while we did tend to focus a little bit more on talent and the aspects of the game itself, somewhere along the line, we did forget a little bit about spirit, and we noticed that it's not inculcated exactly what was asked, that uniformity of spirit across a very varied team, because we do have a completely varied team, from really young adults to people who are much older. And there is a difference in the terms of maturity, of understanding what spirit means. Now, of course, it's a debate that everyone has, what exactly is spirit, but the basics of giving, communicating respectfully, communicating and listening to the other person's perspective. Now, these are things that also reflect a bit about the mindset of the person itself. So it's difficult when, the term of IIT that was brought in, when you have youngsters who think that, who basically graduated, like they say, directly from football into ultimate, to give up aggression and actually listen to the other person. That it is indeed something that we struggle with, especially when we've grown. But probably that is one of the reasons why we have different people looking at it in terms of having different things, and it will have to be something that we address, and it is definitely something that we struggle with.
In terms of spirit of the game, SOTG, as a team, because of the mix of the team, there wasn't really an issue about SOTG issues because of competitiveness or because we were aggressive or anything. Yes, the younger kids were really, competitive. They wanted to win a point and all, but it was very easy for us masters to easily, talk to them and convince them that that's not the way. So from an SOTG perspective, from a aggression and a competitiveness perspective, we never had an SOTG issue. Our issue was more in terms of the rules of the game. For the first 6 months, we didn't get into the rules. Most of them didn't. We took the basic accreditation, but only a couple of them took the advanced thing, and nobody ever bothered to move beyond that. So we just took it for the sake of taking it, but we didn't go into details about what happens, especially calls. We struggled with calls through the season. Then we requested Liz and Manix to come to one of our sessions and spend a couple of hours. And that again changed everything. After that, there was no looking back. We enforced, and we also made sure that women were the spirit captains, so that they would be more, I would say, calm, not just calm, but they were more enforcing rules and enforcing some because sometimes the boys get carried away, but they would go and put their foot down. You know, and the women were very strong. So, so they were very strong, and the boys didn't have a choice but to listen to them. So that wasn't the big issue. So once we started learning the rules, it became easy. It's not that we mastered or we're really good at it even now. There's still a long way to go, but we've come about.
Yeah, basically the spirit was something which I got exposed only during the tournament time. Like just coming for the first tournament, I went there and the whole spirit scoring. Everybody was, they told how many scores, how much score do we give for rules. We were like, okay, give him 10 points. We didn't know that there's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it was only at that time we got exposed first time, saying there's something like this. And you never give a score like 0 or a 4 so easily. So all that we did have a learning over the time. And then one more nice thing which happened was like at least before we signed up for the nationals, we saw that most of the players at least did the advanced accreditation. So that was something which we enforced, and at least many players did fail on it. But yeah, they did read the stuff, get a hold of it. So yeah, that helped out. And yeah, that's all.
I think we could be done. Any questions? Yeah.
Can I go first?
Yeah, they can just repeat the question.
I have one question for airbenders. Like, are you looking for a coach for one team or is it for all the 90 players? Like, usually when you have a coach, it's like a squad of 20 people or 25 people. So that will change the game. Like, if you are looking for the whole squad. I have a second question. Like, the second one is like, you talked about having these 4 wings, but usually how do you manage volunteer time? Like, it's a problem with UPI, it's a problem with club teams, it's a problem with everything. So I wanted to know if you have like some structure or something that makes this work for you.
Alright, thank you. So the first question was, yeah. So the first question was, what exact role is the airbenders coach going to play? So the airbenders coach that we are looking for is only going to be handling the main team, the airbenders 1 or airbenders as you call it, which is going to be a group of I think 20-25 people. For the rest of the remaining 65, we have our own internal coach who will be doing that. So the full-time coach that we're looking for is specifically for the airbenders main team. The second question was regarding how do we deal with volunteer time in our wings, and I think she can cover that.
Okay, it is difficult. It is the same difficulty that any other organization or UPI or anybody would face. We do have some trouble. We have some trouble in having volunteers, but splitting it up into 4 different wings makes sure that people who are interested in particular aspects could look into contributing in that particular area. And also, it is much less for one single person to do, rather than have a single person doing many things. You can have different people contributing a little bit, which makes it easier. And it purely runs, I think, on enthusiasm. And the enthusiasm, luckily, since we have a lot of people, I've seen it shifting. So there is one bunch who's excited for a while, and then there's another bunch and another bunch. So luckily, since we have enough people to move that excitement along, different people come in to volunteer at different times. That makes it a little easier.
Question to both the teams, so that let the other teams also know. Any activity, anything. You take it as logistics, you take it as coaching, you take it as anything activity which you going to do in a team, which involves money. So how are you tackling that, and how stably taking it?
So could you repeat the question?
Yeah, I think the question is about finances. How do we manage team finances? Season 1 wasn't one honestly very difficult. We in each tournament we'd know how much the budget would be, and we'd pull in the money, and that wasn't very difficult. But as I'm sure with other teams, there are a bunch of players who are, we call them star players, who can't afford. So as a team, we decided to basically take care of that. So that's one way we address the finances. But the mistake we made was that this for season one was that we didn't have a corpus. As a result of which, individuals were spending their own money, and realized, for example, we lost money organizing the Chennai hat. In that, our team captain ended up spending, so now we have to figure out how to pay back. Similarly, the trips, sometimes managing that was a problem. So we making a policy decision to have collect the corpus so that at least 60 to 70% of the year's budget is collected in some way over initially and over a period of time. And then the remaining would be based, the variable would be based on where we're going, whether it's Ahmedabad or any different depending on where we're going, we collect more money. So there would be individual spending. So that's the big issue we had, and I think we could be much more structured. Arvind is going to play a big role in take care of the finances, and Madhu is there. So we're setting small teams, just like you guys are. We're not calling them different units, but we clear those.
Okay, couple of things. One, yes, we have thought about and will be institutionalizing something similar to a corpus, because having a varied team also means that some people cannot immediately meet our demands of going to a tournament, whether it's national or anywhere else. And probably rotating it based on the need of the person and based on things like that. And the other thing that's kind of made life a little easier is that we've had the sense to open an account, which means that we don't have an individual at the moment collecting money and paying out, but we actually have an Avendas account into which people can deposit and take money out from. While that makes life easier, yes, there is one person looking after it, and you do face issues of, different people have different financial needs. So corpus, I think, is something that most teams would probably conclude to do with respect to financing. That's what's going on also.
What's really interesting, and this is perhaps applicable to Puyal as well, but primarily focused on airbenders. What I find really interesting about the challenge that airbenders has is the fact that you have team members from the age of, let's say, 11 or 12 all the way up to 50 maybe? Okay, 40 something, right. So there also is an onus on, the children especially look up to many of you all in terms of just role modeling themselves on, in terms of, this person got great throws, great cuts and whatnot, but also from a behavior standpoint. Like you could come in on a Saturday morning and say, oh my god man, I'm just so wasted, I drank so much last night. But it's perhaps not a conversation you could have in front of like an 11-year-old kid. So do you have certain behavioral guidelines, especially for the older players, who are these role models for the youngsters, to kind of have that regulation on the kind of conversations you have, the cuss words you use, or how you spike or throw the disc or whatever aggression you may show, kind of show that restraint?
Applicable to Puyal also. So last night, Bala and me decided to have a drink. We got excited and we posted a photograph of us sharing a beer on the group. And oblivious to the fact that they were 10-year-olds and 12-year-olds, so I had to send another message apologizing and saying no mental lapse of reason. So, so it's again it's part of the Chennai hat, and I got managed again because we Max and I, we worked together with the one-hour team, and my kids' school, we took the one-hour team to my kids' school and started training kids in Ultimate. And for the Chennai Hat, at least 8 of them turned up, apart from the one-hour, a bunch of kids. So it was a great, mix of from 10, actually from 9 to 45, playing the Chennai Hat. So some of them are now practicing with the Puya team. For example, my son is now practicing with the Puya team, and so this is the way forward. I mean, we have to be very careful. Sometimes we get carried away, and there are strict rules. And this is something I didn't realize. I got up in the morning, I got a message from my captain saying, "Why the hell did you post that?" So that's when being a senior member, that was not done. So these things happen, and we're trying to obviously we hope to correct ourselves over a period of the next few seasons.
So for us, specifically with regards to on-field behavior in terms of aggression and spiking, I think as a team we have really had really good discipline. We have people like Vijay and Mixi who are always, so that has never really been an issue for MMS. I don't think we have too many instances where we show bad behaviors like spiking or aggression or fighting on-field. So that's not a very big problem, but there, I think, in terms of like the language that we use, I think that there are certain lapses, but also there's a lot of maturity in the team, and people do ensure that we keep our heads, which is also a large part of spirit, make sure that we don't use like unsavory language in front of the younger kids. And also another thing that we have now started to move on to is, before all our parties just used to be at Pix's place. Whereas now we realize that that's not a very good environment to have all of the kids at. So the outings that now we plan, we do make sure to take that into account, to see that there are activities that involve all age groups, so that as a team bonding, you're not automatically excluded because of your age or because of the whatever other things like that, which should not be a factor. So that is something that we are working on, which is a fairly new problem for us as well, because this real explosion is fairly recent for us, and we're still trying to work on it.
Just one small thing I wanted to add, since you mentioned something about role models. While the kids do look up to a lot of our more senior role models, it also so happens that we look up a lot to the kids as our role models, especially in terms of the game. Because they are so fast, within a week they've improved phenomenally. So it's something that we find, very good in terms of being competitive, being your sharpest. You see kids grow really fast. So in many ways, they are also our role models, not just the other way.
Any more questions?
Just wanted to add something to it. Sorry, I'm Madhu from Zundonu. So I think one of the things that we are doing, because there are a lot of youngsters in the team right now, is that we recently became very aware of that. So we said, overall as a behavior, we want to make sure that we are being good human beings. So it's not just about being good players. Right? So we want to make sure that even if it's just about being clean, we want to make sure that we have some kind of focus on that. So I think that is also being taken care of. We have within the admin wing, we have multiple wings which kind of take care of different things. We have a player welfare wing, which is, so we have players within the team who are constantly observing behavior to maybe highlight if something needs to be attended to. So if we think that some kind of behavior which kind of maybe influences somebody badly, we make sure that we kind of attend to it right away, so that doesn't kind of get further meaningful.
About it's a very personal experience, especially with my children. My eldest son, he's ever since for the longest time I've been trying to get him excited about sport. We tried tennis, we tried cricket, we tried, swimming, we tried football. Nothing worked. And Ultimate just did its magic. And I mean, he is so excited. Obviously, after the one-on team came to the school and then he's just taken. Now he goes to the prod sessions regularly. My youngest son also is slowly getting excited. So hopefully we all will be in the family for a long time.
So we are almost out of time, and so we just want to appreciate the time that you guys spent in preparing for this panel and being so patient because I think it was rescheduled 3 times today. Thank you so much. Thank you for your good luck.